When my father was sick and I knew that he was probably going to die, I was very worried that my connection to Judaism and into spirituality, which had always been very strong and which I had shared with my father, would disappear as soon as he did. But the way that we observed the traditions of Shiva had so much salience for me that I felt like the opposite of what I thought would happen. Not just that it didn't happen, but the opposite happened. I felt deeply comforted by and invested in the religious traditions of Shiva and of Judaism generally. So one of the most striking experience of Shiva was the community really handling everything for us, and the role that the community played in making sure that all of our needs were met. It was a real blessing to see why it's considered a mitzvah to comfort mourners, not just because they're in great emotional pain, but because they cannot do anything for themselves, and they should not do anything for themselves. And the community's role is to show up in full force and make everything happen. And that feeling of being somewhat helpless, I have to say, I did feel helpless. I felt emotionally helpless, and the traditional system was set up for me to be okay feeling that way. When Shiva started, I didn't even think about the notion of not being able to take a shower for a week, because not only did I not want to take a shower, but it never occurred to me that I would do something like take a shower or do any normal activity ever again. Whereas on day one, I wouldn't have even known what a shower was if you had offered me one. On day 7, I was like, I need to take a shower. I'm disgusting. And that was a powerful way in which I think that the deprivation of Shiva matched my emotional loss, and then encouraged me to start adding things back into my life that are aspects of normal living and normal coping. And no one was saying, okay, it's time to stop being sad, but the tradition was saying, okay, it's time to bathe. Why don't we just start with that? Let's just put some fresh clothes on. And it was the first time I wanted to do anything to take care of myself. I needed all of the care that I had been given, and then I needed to start taking steps to care for myself. I didn't know that I would want that for myself, that I would want to start taking care of myself again. But what was so powerful for me in observing Shiva the way that we did as a family and the way I did was feeling that the tradition knew something about me and knew something about what I was experiencing before I knew it. And that made me feel a lot less alone as well. And so that was a powerful transition for me to make.